About a week ago, I saw a bear whom I'd seen the day before. The day before, his mouth looked normal, and that next day, his mouth looked strange. And when I looked more closely, I could see that his lower right canine was poking straight out. And I don't know, and it still is. I've seen him since, and it's still hanging down here. And I don't know if he broke the tooth or if he broke his jaw and it took the tooth down aiming with it. But in either case, it has reminded me of the the one-way nature of life and also of the fragility of life and how life can change for any of us in one moment. Because at one moment his tooth was normal, and then I don't know if he got in a fight, I don't know what happened, but then the tooth or the jaw broke. And a few months ago, I was breaking up a dog fight, and my pinky got after the dog fight. The joint here was aiming this way, and I can move it, but it's like this forever. And we all have stories like that. My mother's cousin in World War II was um, in the military and going to an island in Japan and invading, conquering the not in Japan, but in the Pacific. And he just got off the assault landing craft and got shot in the knee. And I knew him in the 90s, and he still had a cane and could not walk very well. And I know we've all been through those moments, or I have, where something happens and then you wish you could go back in time 10 seconds and in his case stand 6 inches to the left or 6 inches to the right. And or this bear's case, not getting a fight or whatever it was that caused him to break the tooth. And I think often about the past and how the past, even 5 seconds ago or 5 years ago, whatever, is in some ways it's so close. It's still, in here and in here. But in other ways, the past, even 2 seconds ago, is completely unreachable territory. And I don't know, I don't know that there's an overall point to be made about this, except wonder at the movement of it all. I'm looking outside and I'm seeing all these tiny little gnats flying around, and I see dragonflies flying around too. And, 1 second the gnat is flying around, and the next second the dragonfly catches it. And I think it's so easy for me, at least, to slip through my days and, oh, am I going to watch a basketball game tonight? Oh, what movie can I watch to kill a couple hours? And not to recognize, it's very interesting that I have written and talked extensively about how I don't like the word resources, but I'll use it because it's what we use generally, but how you don't want to base a society on the use of non-renewable resources. Basing on the use of non-renewable resources is not sustainable. And how we have how it's extraordinary to me how we fritter away, oil or any other non-renewable resource. And then I bring it back to my own life and I realize that in our own lives, time is not a renewable resource. that we have a finite amount, and every day it ticks down. And I think about that usually after I've just wasted some time playing a computer game, or like, wow, I'm not getting that back. Um, but back to the original point, I think, I I guess the point of all this is to attempt to at least make us conscious of the fact that as we go through life, we intentionally and unintentionally make irrevocable decisions that have irrevocable consequences. And that doesn't mean that this bear is going to die. What it means is for the rest of his life, he's not going to have a lower right canine. And, for the rest of my life. And I guess the point of all this is that that's what life consists of.